If I told you had a story to be heard, would you tell it? Better yet, if you could give hope or inspiration to someone else, would you share it? Hi, I'm Christine Hatches, and just like our fingerprints, I believe our stories are unique to the path in which we are on. Today, my guests are going to talk about drug addiction, but drug addiction and recovery at the same time. You know, there's so many things in this life, I say this thing called life, that we could get stressed out about, so we go to something that will comfort us, or we start to have some fun doing something, and then we get exposed to something that will turn into a habit. And with drug addiction and alcohol addiction, they do take lives. And so today, my guests are going to share their journeys on addiction and then their recovery, which is the best part as well, so that they can educate you and help you, because it was a journey for the both of them. So please help me welcome Angel and Sam. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Okay, so we have two addictions. Yours was trying to escape life.
Yes.
And yours was for fun.
Yeah.
Okay, but you end up both turning it into an addiction that almost lost a lot of things. Family, friends.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe your life.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the drug of choice, Sam?
Our drug of choice was fentanyl.
Fentanyl, that's a big one. Okay. Yeah. How did you get a hold of it?
Streets.
Okay.
Yeah.
And which one of you were into it, or you were doing it together?
Together.
Together.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're not going to place who decided to fight it, but we know that each of you had something different as to why you were doing it. So fentanyl. So did you get it on the streets after, or did you have it in the like a medical thing that you needed and it turned into you couldn't afford it and then?
No, it was more like first Percocets of our own, and then couldn't find those, so we moved to something that was the same drug but stronger. And we ended up liking that more.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah.
And you were escaping.
Yes.
So she was for fun, you were for escaping. What were you escaping?
Just life in general, everyday things that was going on with my family, personal stuff.
Okay. How long were you guys doing this?
8 months.
8 months.
I think. Kind of lot. You lose track of time, really.
Okay.
But I think it was about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were escaping things. Did this drug of choice, did it really make you feel like you were escaping anything? Or you were so into it so much that it was now becoming just a habit?
At first, it was like just numbing the pain that I was feeling, and it just made me forget, and I would just, go on to, like she said, partying and forgetting, and, and then afterwards it was like becoming too much to handle all at once. It wasn't escaping anymore.
It was just like a way of life. Like, if we didn't have anything in our pockets, then we couldn't do anything that day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you talk about what was in your pockets, you're talking about financially, you're talking about the drug?
The drug.
The drug. And being on the streets, we won't go into where you got it, because people get what they need to get their fix. Was this an expensive habit?
Extremely.
Did you guys sacrifice anything?
Everything.
What? Okay. What is everything, Sam?
Games, jewelry, bikes, skateboards, eating.
You wouldn't eat?
Oh yeah, we
Could you eat, or you just weren't hungry, or you just sacrificed not eating?
we could sacrifice not eating and then deal with eating like 50-cent bananas from QT
Or ramen.
or granola bars that are $1.
Okay. Well, I did that stuff too, but that was because I was poor. Top ramen for 10 cents or a quarter was my choice.
Yeah.
Bananas. Okay, so it suppressed your appetite then too? Or that was part of the sacrifice?
It could
because
make us forget that we're hungry.
Yeah, basically.
Really?
It's weird to say that, but it was true. It just made us forget that we were even hungry.
Okay, so I'm not familiar with drugs, so how much would you say a day?
About
a daily thing?
On a good day, $250
You would spend $250 for your habit of fentanyl.
for both of us. Yes.
For
For one
both of
person, about 100. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So walk me down to better understand
Okay.
this habit. What were you getting? What were you
Okay. So
doing?
first, it starts out like you're doing only, low milligram of Percocets or Vicodin, right?
Okay.
And then you can't find the source of those.
Okay.
So then you hear someone, oh, I got Percocets. They're just the same. They're higher and they last longer. So at first, like one could last us all day long. And, you know, $20, one pill would last us all one day. And we could split it in fourths and be good all day long.
And you would share that.
Yeah.
And then eventually it becomes you build a tolerance.
So
And
then you
use
can't get
more.
that high.
quickly.
So you can't get that quick high you did on the initial taking.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
I think it took about 2 weeks for that tolerance to be up.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Were either of you working at this time?
No.
So you had a $250 habit a day or $100 and you didn't have a job. And
Correct.
this is the question that you have to answer because this is what is out there on the real life where people get upset
course.
because they don't understand what drug addiction is. And that's why I have the 2B here so you can share what drug addiction does to you as the person who is using it, and then hopefully you'll understand what it did to the people around you. If you didn't have that money, what were you doing? To
Manipulation.
Get the money? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, so I need some money for gas.
Yep.
Hey, I have a phone bill.
Yep.
Yes.
And then, we would sacrifice phone bills too. And, you know, we'd be like, hey, we
At
need
one
our
point,
phone
we
bill.
sold our phone and just used like
One
a
phone.
tablet or one phone
Wi-Fi, where we could get it.
because we didn't care.
You didn't care
No.
because the drug had a hold of you.
Yes.
And you did this for 8 months or so.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so I do know you personally, but I didn't know this part of you, and that's okay. We all have something in our lives because years forward, you're going to look back at this and you can say that was something I went through I didn't understand, but I'm good now because I made something with my life.
Right.
And the people and the relationships around me, I was able to fix.
Yeah.
Okay. So is there anything you want to share to the audience as to how you could see signs that someone's actually with a drug addiction without them rejecting? Because I think the rejection, whether you're on drugs or not, is a difficult thing.
Yes.
Okay. You want to share, either of you, about...
Are you asking, like, how to pick up signs?
Yes.
Okay, so loss of weight.
Okay.
Not hungry. That's okay.
Okay.
And losing things all the time, temper, and putting yourself away all the time and keeping your distance, pretty much being antisocial.
Yeah.
How about paranoia?
Not so
say
much.
No? So you were self-absorbed about the
I
drug
think
and
that's
didn't think
different
about
for me. I had
Yeah.
paranoia.
You had okay, see,
Yeah, I
two
didn't.
different
I
things, two
kind of
different
didn't
effects.
care about that.
Okay. And
I was
the
just like,
paranoia?
whatever. Yeah.
What was the paranoia part?
That like everybody knew. I didn't hide it very well. Everybody knew, like they were just judging me, and that's when the antisocial kicked in. I was like, everybody knows. I need to just keep my distance and just stay at home and not hang out with my friends.
So you became introverted?
Yes.
Well, are you introverted? I don't know that you are.
No, I usually, like if I'm going through something, I reach out for help, and I love hanging out with my family. I love hanging out with my friends. I love doing new things. So that's when my family caught on. They were like, "Why aren't you going out with your friends? Like my
Your habits
best friends."
changed.
Yeah.
Your habits changed where you were not going or said you would go and
Oh,
you
we
didn't
were
show
always
up.
leaving, and
At
then
night.
and yeah,
Just leaving at night.
or early in
nightlife
the
was more-
morning. Yeah.
Oh.
It was at random times. I mean, it all depended on the guy,
Okay.
And we
So
would.
when did you guys...
Sorry.
That's
we-
okay. No, no,
We'd
finish.
quickly leave and then, be gone for hours, and we would just be like, oh, we'll be back.
Yeah, and
you
it
know?
was like our family saw us. We'd be laying in bed, really sick, detoxing, and then we'd come back magically okay.
Okay.
You know.
Magically. Is that when you realized the reality of life came back in and you're like, okay, I gotta get my fix again so I can put that Band-Aid over my sore?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When did you guys realize that you had a problem and you needed to do something?
When everything was gone.
When everything was gone, what's everything?
My car was sitting in my driveway, in my dad's driveway. Everything was wrong with my car. The gas was gone. My tires were rotted. The struts had popped through. But every excuse that popped up on my car that I needed was, hey, I need money for this, and then go do this.
And you weren't doing anything to contribute to fixing it, so it sat there because no
Right.
one was going to help you any longer.
Right.
Do you feel like you, and this is hard too, do you feel like you disappointed your parents by your actions of
Oh, yeah.
getting into drugs?
Oh, absolutely. I felt that I kept it a secret. I mean, I knew I had a problem and I wanted to tell someone, but since I've been through it more than twice, that I thought I was, you know, you
You're in
feel like you're
control
going
of
to
it?
be disowned. So you feel like, okay, I'm going to get this under control one day on my own. And then you come to realize that's not possible. Like, you need family and support, like at least friends or meetings, or, you know.
And for you, what was the turning point?
I was getting really skinny, and like I noticed good friends of mine that have been friends with me for years said they didn't want to hang out anymore. And just seeing like personal like things that have happened, like my mom, she went through addiction, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
You talk about your mom having addiction, and yet you had this, and you didn't see that that was probably hurting you when you knew your mom was having an addiction? Was that part of the problem as to what you were trying to escape, is you couldn't see how she would do that, so you didn't consciously go, well, I'm just going to join the addiction world?
No, I didn't.
You saw it as a pain, and you were trying
Yeah.
to keep from that same pain, but you were falling
Yeah.
in the same trap. What is your relationship with your mom now?
We're okay.
And you and your mom and dad?
I have a really
Better?
good relationship with my mom and my dad.
Okay, good. Just so you guys know, we're
No.
all young and we all make mistakes, including myself, and I happen to know your dad and your mom, and age does have its, what's the word I'm looking for? Experience. We'll say experience.
Yeah.
But for you two to be a testimony as to helping other people that are out here for the signs, how they get it, what they do, and how they can actually help someone versus rejecting them, and that I think would put that person in even a darker place, which is where you hear overdoses, where we want to help, but would you say that the people that wanted to help you, that they were there but you weren't ready, or you weren't sure that they were asking you to get help? Because I know you went through rehab, right? You both went through rehab?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to that. How did you get into rehab? Was that something the family said you need to go? Is it something?
Yes.
Okay.
I was admitting to my wrongs and admitting that I needed help, and then them helping me get to an outpatient rehab.
Okay. In the outpatient rehab, were you both in the same?
No.
No, I went to rehab before this, and then after this, I started going to meetings.
Okay. So the rehab, walk me through rehab. What is it exactly?
Well, outpatient rehab is where I went 4 times a week, and at Banner Thunderbird, and it was 4 hours a day, and I would go in the morning, and then it would make me feel a lot better. Just like
So
it was
what-
like you sit with a group of people, and it's only so many,
Okay.
so you can focus on, you know, what needs.
To be addressed.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct. So they focus on what you're doing and why you're doing it, and what are your triggers and what
Triggers,
to
right.
prevent them.
Triggers go with everything in life. So, so they worked through that, and you, was it the same thing for you? It was like a group therapy? Is that what I'm understanding? It's like a group therapy. You went in there, you were committed to those times. This is the topics, and everyone could be a Me Too factor because you're all in there under an addiction and you wanted to have some help, wanted to get help. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Do you feel it was helpful for you?
Yes, it
Okay.
was.
Okay, because from what I understand, you both have different reasons as to why you did it, but the group has to be able to address the situation as a whole.
Right.
And that's what they did. Now, did you go through it just once, or did you go more than once?
I went more than once.
To rehab?
Yes.
And you, Sam?
I just went once,
You
but
did once.
I've relapsed 3 times, but always went back to meetings.
So why
And-
would you relapse? What is it that would make you think that you needed to go
A
back
trigger
to it?
that I couldn't overcome,
Okay.
you know, and, you know, feeling like you can control it, but in every meeting that you go to, you think one will just be okay if you just do one. That's not true, and everyone would agree.
So you're chasing the initial high again.
Oh yeah, at least just that one last time, but then it keeps going. And that's, you're like, okay, well, one more time won't hurt. One more time.
It's always say,
It's never
just
enough.
one more. Well, just one more. It only takes one.
Yes.
I don't care what it is. It only takes one
That
time
is
for
correct.
anything.
That's correct.
And that one time could also be your life,
Yes.
as we know.
Yeah.
And we have learned of people, and people out here have learned of individuals, families, loved ones that have lost their lives because that one time was not enough, and they kept trying to chase that one more time. And for you, you said only once you went to
I
rehab?
went a couple times.
So the same thing, you had a relapse and you went back to?
Yes, I did.
When did you guys finally realize that you didn't have any more triggers, that you didn't need to worry about going again? Because I believe you guys are coming up on a 1 year. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
But it's more like for me, I can't speak for her, but
Yep.
for me, it was like a life epiphany, you know, like my third eye opened, you know what I mean? Like, not many people go through it, but a lot of people, you know, need that extra support. And, you know, I just feel like,
You have a very supportive surrounding.
yeah, no, yes.
Would you say it
that
has to-
matters?
It
That does.
But would you also say, and we're all, no matter who we are, what we're going through, we hear the self-love thing, and I think the self-love thing actually has to
Absolutely.
do with it too. If you feel that around you, it really isn't the people around you, it's you and yourself. You had already mentioned earlier how you thought everyone knew you were doing it, and they probably didn't, but you were you had such a conscience and subconscious about knowing that you were doing something wrong
Yeah.
that it was
exactly.
hurting you. Okay.
Yes.
So I don't know if I asked all the questions that would allow someone out here to understand what addiction is. Is there anything you want to add, since you have both sides of being fun and escaping, that you want to share that would be helpful to someone out here if they're dealing with someone with a drug addiction, or them being the drug addiction, or they know someone's going through a drug addiction?
Doesn't matter what you've been through or what you've done, your life is worth it.
Okay.
You can do this. Yeah.
And you?
You're not alone. There are so many resources out there. It's okay to reach out for help. It's okay if it's your 5th time getting sober. It's okay. You're not alone, and you can always come to someone. And meetings are like, they're scary at first, but you just see all the love and people with open arms not judging you, and they just want to hear your story.
I love that. I always say it's okay to not be okay. And as you guys both know, with my story, there's days I'm not okay because my daughter Nicole passed away with us being in a family auto accident on New Year's Day, 2007. She passed away. That was 13 years ago. And today I had a trigger. So I understand that. Mine won't go to drug addiction, but the triggers are always going to be there. You have to be stronger to say that it's okay to not be okay today. But
It's
there's
okay to be
always
human.
tomorrow. Yeah, we're all human. We make mistakes, and we don't always have the answers. I don't know about you, but I wasn't born with an instruction manual. And I don't want one if there is. Because I'm Wonder Woman.
Mistakes are a part of life. I mean,
So are feelings.
Yeah.
They are. Your feelings are. I tell everybody, someone can tell you that that's not right how you feel. Your feelings are genuine. They really are yours. And you do matter. We hear everybody matters. I don't care who you are, what walk of life. Everybody matters. So the last question I love to ask, and not a lot of people realize this, is when your days are done, what do you want to be remembered for? I say legacy, but we're going to say, what do you want to be remembered for?
conquering life with happiness.
I love that. Angel?
Coming out of the darkness into the light.
That's even better. You both did great. I thank you both for giving me your time and sharing this information. Now, one other question. If anyone wants to be able to reach out to you, can they reach out to me and I can put them in touch with you?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Okay. So your destiny, your determination is to help other people so that they don't lose their life?
Of course.
Or the warning signs for someone out there who's probably at their wit's end, not knowing what to do. And there is always the professionals. Always go to the professionals because that's what they know best.
Yes.
But today, at my guest here, I wanted them to share from them being on one side or the other. And there's other ones out there. I don't know them, not the professional. But I thank you both for being vulnerable, transparent, and
Absolutely.
honest. And yes, I thank you both.
Thank you.
Yes. And as I say every time, these just get better and better. And until next time, take care.